Hi everyone, I'm going to react to My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 6, Encounter Part 2. I'm assuming it's going to be Deku and Shigaraki meeting again, because last episode we saw a little glimpse of when they met for the first time, when he has his hands on around his neck and everything. So I'm assuming this is going to be them meeting for the second time. So yeah, people, last episode was just like stressing me out. Like Shigaraki woke up and he was just like destroying stuff, man. And that dude died. People were trying to escape, but it's like, I don't know, man. I'm stressed. So that's what happened last episode. Now before we get into this one, if you guys have a reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider support on Patreon at patreon.com/feelmini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. People. Oh my gosh. What the heck? What the heck? I knew he was gonna be strong, but this is too much. What the freaky frack? You know, the people that were monitoring what's happening, they couldn't get in touch with Endeavor. They were trying to get in touch with people, but nothing was working and whatnot. And then they showed, Fat Gum and Mount Lady and Cementos, facing the Ice to Getten and everything. Dabby joined up with Compress, I think. What's it called? Yeah, Compress. Joined up with Compress and basically trying to apprise himself of the situation. And Compress told Dabby about how Toga just like lost it and went after the heroes and everything. And then you see these heroes like running. They were like, okay, they're gonna help Mount Lady or something, or go after Mount Lady. I don't know. Probably heading toward the battle and whatnot. And then one of them was like, didn't they take out Twice? And then you see someone there that sort of looks like Twice, but not really, because he had like sort of like different colors. I'm like, then the person just sort of started stabbing people. I'm like, that's not. I mean, it does look like Twice, but it's not Twice. Then it turns out to be Toga transforming into him. Like, she's mad after they killed Twice, which I completely understand, because the killing of Twice, like, that, it got me, even though he was a villain, part of the League of Villains, not really the League of Villains anymore. Like, I don't know, that, I didn't like that. That made me hate Hawks, So it's like, I totally understand why Toga would just like go after people and start killing people and all of that. So that was going on. And then they hear Makia, or did Makia show up? I think Makia showed up. And then that's where Dabi knew that Shigaraki was also awake. And then they go from them to Shigaraki. And Endeavor just like showed up and just like started facing him, like engulfed him in flames. They do just like went through the flames and started regenerating. Okay. Him and Endeavor got into it. And then Shigaraki was just like, he said he felt something last episode. I mentioned that before we started this reaction. He mentioned he was, I thought he was having a headache or something. But that happened again. And it's basically the fact that he doesn't have one for all. That is something that's sticking in his mind. Like, he really wants one for all now, because that's the one quirk, I guess, that All For One wanted, but he didn't turn out the way he wanted it to turn out. And so now Shigaraki wants it. And he had one for all search from Ragdoll. So he was able to locate where Deku is, started running after Deku, Endeavor started running after him, and he mentioned the going after One for All, and you know, Endeavor heard that. Everybody that was on the line heard that, and the secret is only between Deku, Bakugo, All Might, and um, Gran Torino, right? So Endeavor didn't get it. Those two got it. But then you see all those people, them trying to evacuate people. Shigaraki is like coming after Deku. So Deku is like, I cannot be here. And then he immediately started getting away. Bakugo went after him because he also knew that Shigaraki was coming after him. So they started running away. Then Deku hit up Endeavor like on a private line and basically told him that Shigaraki was coming after him and to let him know if he changes course. And he does change course. So Endeavor's like, okay, so he is going after Deku. So Shigaraki told, not Shigaraki, people, Endeavor. He told everybody that was on the line that Shigaraki was going after Deku. So we're like, okay. And in the meantime, Shigaraki was like, you people, you and your communication stuff, I need to disable this. And I can't really deal with you, Endeavor, right now. So I had to do something. And then he, another quirk, some kind of shockwave kind of thing that just basically destroyed the communications. So now they can't communicate. And like, this dude has so many quirks. And then he started going after Deku and he was going after them. Either way, Deku and, what the frick? Bakugo. Deku and Bakugo were, running further away from people. And then we see why Bakugo is also running with Deku, because he also wants revenge on Shigaraki because they kidnapped him, At one point, they wanted him to join the league, and All Might came to save him, and because of that, All Might lost his powers and everything. So he has felt guilty about that since then, and all of how they showed those little flashbacks of Deku and Kachon Part 1 and Part 2, and all of that. So he's also like, and then Shigaraki shows up in front of him, and they started feeling like they felt when they first encountered All for One, and that dread that they felt like they were gonna die and all those things. They felt that same thing that they were being decayed when they faced Shigaraki. But then Gran Torino came like in the nick of time and just like took them away from Shigaraki. And he was like, when he heard One for All, when he heard that Shigaraki was going after One for All, then he knew exactly what that meant. So he also went after Deku and all of that. So and then he took them like far from the fighting, but not too far, so that they can keep an eye on Shigaraki, because since they don't have the communications anymore, then they need to keep an eye on him so that they don't lose him. And he's like out in the wind, they don't know where he is and all of that. And then they're there, and Shigaraki Endeavor shows up with the help of one of his psychic that changed his direction or something. And he showed up, and then he started facing Shigaraki. Then Ryukyu showed up as well, and there was the one point where I was like, Shigaraki touched Ryukyu, but he didn't decay it, and I was confused for a second. I'm like, did he not touch him, or did he touch something else? Like what? Even if he touched something else, that something else should be decaying, but it didn't. It wasn't decaying, and it wasn't until they showed Aizawa. I'm like, oh, okay, so he, he was like Cross gave his life for him. His friend also died for him because the doctor said that it wasn't really the friend's quirk that they wanted, it was Aizawa's quirk that they wanted, that day. So it's like all these people have died, have been protecting me, and it's like it's for this particular moment, so I can use my erasure, I guess, on Shigaraki. And that was why when he touched Ryukyu, it didn't really do anything to her. And then he was getting moisturized by Manuel, which I'm like, oh, because Manuel isn't someone that's like, he's not like an upper, I'm about to say upper class, but that's not like, he's not like a strong hero, like a fighting hero. He's more sort of like a support, basically. And he was the one that either did his internship, whatever, with when they were patrolling the streets and all of that. I think it was during the Stain saga and all of that. So the fact that he was there, even though he doesn't really have this amazing quirk, the quirk that he had is of great help to Aizawa into this battle with Shigaraki, because Aizawa needs to keep his eyes open. Okay, he needs to keep his eyes fixed on Shigaraki so that he doesn't, all those quirks that he has, like, don't activate and wanna. And in order for his eyes to be open, his eyes needs to be moisturized. And then you have this person that has water powers and wanna just like moisturizing his eyes, and like, I don't know, for some reason that really, it got to me. Like, I really love that, the fact that this sort of like unassuming hero is a big part of this battle against Shigaraki. So it's like, oh, I really love that. So yeah, even though Eraserhead doesn't really know, oh, he's like, I want to protect, don't touch my students or something. He's protecting his students. So I'm like, oh, he doesn't know that Deku has that Deku has one for all. He doesn't know that. He doesn't really know why Shigaraki is going after Deku like that. But Deku and Bakugo are his students, so you better keep away from them. And he was protecting them. And then we go to Gran Torino and Deku and the others, and they were watching the battle, and then you see this purple thing, that purple mouth or something or other like that. I don't know, for some reason my mind went to Gigantomachia like in the beginning, but then I'm like, Gigantomachia is not purple. And then they were like, why are they should have decayed or something or other like that. And then I'm like, what, are they normals? And then there was like all this bunch of normals that were also in the lab, which they were in the lab. The lab was completely decayed. So why are they not decayed? Do they have something in their constitution? Whatever, when the doctor did his thing, did he put something in them that stops, that decay doesn't really affect? And if that's the truth, first of all, it's bad for our heroes because they are already so completely focused on Shigaraki there. They can't really be dealing with all these normals. Okay, Eraserhead cannot be erasing Shigaraki's powers and the normal's powers. It's not gonna work out like that. So it's like, this is bad. But then I'm like, okay, if these normals were not decayed, is there something in them that the heroes can figure out and apply to themselves so that Shigaraki's powers does not work, like his decay does not work on them? Like, that's where both of my thoughts went. First, this is really bad. Second, can they find something? And is it something about them that they can apply to themselves so that they're not decaying and they can, face Shigaraki for freaking fight. And then Shigaraki is like, his physical strength and all of that is like exponentially stronger. They say it's not as strong as All Might's strength and everything, but it's still super strong. That the guy jumped just from his. It's not. I thought it was a quirk, but it's not a quirk. It was his own physical ability that allowed him to jump that high and to evade Endeavor's fire like in midair. It's like this dude is. I'm so. I was about to say I'm so worried. And then I remembered when Deku and Bakugo were leaving the others, and then Shoto was like, "Where are you guys going?" And then he's like, "Oh, I forgot something." I'm like, "You're right." People, I'm so worried, man. Am I gonna be this worried throughout this whole season? Because I knew this season was gonna be a lot, but like. It's only five. We're only in the sixth episode, and it's like I cannot deal with all this stress, man. Like this is too much. It's too much. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to episode 7, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/filmini, and you can also see the full line for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Mais de la manière va t'aimer, c'est ça quand même tu vas parler. Jolie nana, cherche pas joli gars, c'est pas ta beauté, elle va manger.